Authorities are urging people not to indulge in panic buying amid fears of food shortage as a no-deal Brexit becomes a strong possibility. Grocery stores across the UK are stockpiling food as tense negotiations between Brussels and London continue. According to reports, the government has asked supermarkets to hoard goods, saying that no-deal Brexit is on the cards. Retail chains have also warned of a possible shortage of fresh food and delays in delivery if the UK leaves the EU without a trade agreement. There are fears that food prices could rise by 3 to 5%. Some products like cheese could see much higher price rise due to fresh tariffs. In fact, according to one estimate, the UK may face over $4 billion in food tariffs. The UK and the EU have a free trade agreement which will end on the 31st of December. In case of a no-deal Brexit, both sides could levy tariffs on each other's imports. The lifting of regional coronavirus restrictions is also likely to put a strain on supermarkets which are struggling to meet higher demands. The possible food crisis would come at a time when the UK is reeling under the coronavirus pandemic. Joining us this minute is our London Bureau Chief, Mandy Clark, for more on that. Mandy, there is a reassurance coming in from the government that people must not indulge in panic buying. But what is the government doing about the possibility that there could be a food crisis in the UK, since a no-deal Brexit looks like the most likely scenario, at least at this point?
Yes, the problem, as you outlined, is that Britain isn't self-sufficient, that it requires a lot of imports for the food, particularly the perishable foods. So even stockpiling doesn't really have a massive benefit because it's those fresh foods that spoil that Britain really needs. So all talk of stockpiling isn't really helpful because ultimately the problem lies with those Brexit negotiations. It's also those ports and ferry crossings where if that no deal happens, then there's expected 7,000 trucks that will have a 3-day wait at those ports to sort out paperwork, and that will further lead to more shortages of food. There doesn't seem to be a lot of answers coming from 10 Downing Street, just calls for calm, but really what a lot of people want to see is a deal going through. Now, the fact that they're still talking is seen as a hopeful sign, but really, time's running out.
Explain to our viewers how things have reached this point in terms of the UK's preparedness. Did they not see this coming, given the fact that there have been a lot of those sticking issues which remain unresolved? And like we've been discussing, it's a strong possibility that they will not be able to do in 2 weeks what they've failed to do all year round.
Yeah, it's not that they didn't see it coming. A lot of people just hope for a deal. But I also think the massive distraction for Europe and Britain was, of course, dealing with that coronavirus pandemic. It just really delayed Brexit talks for most of the year because both areas were in complete crisis trying to get the virus under control. Now that there is light at the end of the tunnel, there's a refocus on Brexit, but there is only those vital 2 weeks. Now, some argue that good negotiations always go down to the wire and they're pulled out of the bag, but there's not a lot of hope coming from those camps. That is a cause for concern, and on January 1st we can see complete chaos in the ports if something does not get sorted.
And we'll keep coming back to you for further updates. Mandy Clark, thanks very much for the moment.